There's a lie that almost everyone believes. A lie so attractive, so seductive, that it quietly steals years from people's lives while convincing them they are free. The lie says that freedom means having no limits, no rules, no restrictions, no obligations, no boundaries, just endless options, endless possibilities, endless choice. And at first, it sounds beautiful. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want a life where nobody tells them what to do? Where every door remains open, where every opportunity is available, where every path is possible. But look closer, because something strange is happening in our world. Human beings have more freedom than any generation before them. More choices, more entertainment, more information, more opportunities, more ways to express themselves, more ways to create. And yet, millions feel trapped, overwhelmed, distracted, paralyzed, unable to finish what they start, unable to focus, unable to create meaningful work, unable to become who they know they could be. How is that possible? How can unlimited freedom create so much helplessness? Because freedom without boundaries eventually becomes chaos, and chaos destroys creativity. Chaos destroys discipline. Chaos destroys identity. The truth is uncomfortable. The very thing you believe is restricting your freedom may actually be the thing that creates it. Imagine a river, a powerful river rushing toward the ocean. Its energy is magnificent. Its movement is unstoppable. Its purpose is clear. Now imagine removing the riverbanks. What happens? The water spreads everywhere. Its force disappears. Its direction vanishes. Its power weakens. Without boundaries, the river stops being a river. It becomes a swamp. And that is exactly what happens to human potential. Without boundaries, your energy scatters. Your focus dissolves. Your ambition leaks away into thousands of meaningless directions. You become busy, but not effective, occupied, but not fulfilled, moving, but never arriving. The modern world celebrates endless possibility, yet the greatest creators in history understood something entirely different. The greatest artists, the greatest leaders, the greatest thinkers, the greatest innovators, they were not defined by limitless freedom. They were defined by deliberate constraints. They chose rules. They chose discipline. They chose structure because they understood a secret most people never discover. Creativity is not born from unlimited options. Creativity is born from meaningful constraints. Think about music. A musician does not create beauty because there are infinite notes. Beauty emerges because there are rules, patterns, scales, rhythms, structure. Think about poetry. Words become powerful not because anything can be said. Words become powerful because limitations force deeper expression. Think about architecture. A masterpiece is not created because there are no boundaries. A masterpiece emerges because an architect learns how to create beauty inside them. The same principle applies to your life. Your greatness will never emerge from unlimited freedom. Your greatness will emerge from the boundaries you are willing to honor. But this truth is difficult to accept because boundaries feel uncomfortable. They feel restrictive. They feel painful. They require sacrifice. And modern culture teaches us to fear sacrifice. We are told to keep every option open, to avoid commitment, to avoid limitation, to avoid missing out. But the person who refuses to choose eventually loses everything, because every meaningful achievement requires the courage to eliminate alternatives. The writer must choose the page. The athlete must choose training. The entrepreneur must choose focus. The leader must choose responsibility. The creator must choose depth over distraction. Every act of creation begins with an act of exclusion. Every act of mastery begins with a boundary. And this is where most people struggle, because boundaries force confrontation. The moment you create a boundary, you discover what controls you. You discover your addictions, your impulses, your fears, your excuses, your emotional dependencies. You discover the voices that have been running your life from the shadows, the endless scrolling, the constant notifications, the inability to sit alone with your thoughts, the desperate need for validation, the fear of boredom, the fear of silence, the fear of missing out, the fear of becoming fully responsible for your own potential. Boundaries expose all of it, which is why so many people avoid them. But there is another side to this story, a side most people never experience. Because once a boundary is honored long enough, something extraordinary happens. The boundary stops feeling like a prison and starts feeling like liberation. The early morning wake-up stops feeling painful and starts feeling empowering. The focused work session stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling peaceful. The commitment stops feeling limiting and starts feeling meaningful. The discipline stops feeling harsh and starts feeling like self-respect. You begin to understand something profound. The boundary wasn't taking freedom away. It was protecting freedom. Because real freedom is not the ability to do whatever you want. Real freedom is the ability to become who you were meant to be. And those are very different things. Anyone can follow impulses. Anyone can surrender to distraction. Anyone can chase temporary pleasure. That requires no mastery, no character, no courage. But becoming the highest version of yourself, that requires boundaries. The boundary that says no when temptation says yes. The boundary that protects your vision when the world tries to pull you away from it. The boundary that guards your time, your energy, your attention, your soul. Because attention is life. Whatever owns your attention eventually owns your future. And in an age where everyone is fighting for your attention, boundaries have become a survival skill. Every notification is asking for your future. Every distraction is asking for your purpose. Every meaningless habit is asking for a piece of your destiny. The question is simple. What are you willing to protect? Because what you protect grows. What you neglect disappears. And the greatest tragedy is not failure. The greatest tragedy is allowing your potential to be consumed by distractions, so small they don't even deserve your attention. Years pass. Dreams fade. Opportunities vanish. Not because someone stopped you, but because you never built the boundaries required to protect what mattered most. There's a reason mountains inspire us. They stand firm, unshaken by storms, unmoved by temporary conditions. They have shape, structure, definition. A mountain without boundaries would cease to exist. And the same is true for identity. A person without boundaries becomes whatever the environment demands, whatever social pressure suggests, whatever emotional impulse dictates. But a person with boundaries develops something rare. A center, a core, a foundation, an identity that remains steady when everything around them becomes chaotic. And from that stability comes creativity. From that stability comes leadership. From that stability comes greatness. Because the most powerful creative force in the world is not inspiration. It is consistency. And consistency lives inside boundaries. Not motivation, not excitement, not temporary passion. Boundaries, the daily decision to show up, the daily decision to focus, the daily decision to protect what matters, even when nobody is watching, even when progress feels invisible, even when the results have not arrived yet. That is where transformation lives. That is where ordinary people become extraordinary. That is where dreams become reality. And maybe that is the paradox nobody talks about. The tighter your commitment becomes, the wider your freedom expands. The stronger your boundaries become, the greater your creativity grows. The more disciplined your life becomes, the more powerful your self-expression becomes. Because discipline is not the enemy of freedom. Discipline is freedom's architect. Boundaries are not walls built to imprison you. They are walls built to protect what is sacred inside you. Your purpose, your vision, your future, your potential. So if you feel lost today, if you feel distracted, if you feel overwhelmed by endless choices and endless noise, don't ask for more freedom. Ask for stronger boundaries. Protect your mornings. Protect your focus. Protect your values. Protect your attention. Protect your dreams. And watch what happens. Because the moment you stop giving your energy to everything, you finally gain enough energy to become something. something focused, something powerful, something intentional, something extraordinary. The river finds its direction. The artist finds their voice. The leader finds their purpose. The human being finds themselves. And maybe that is the ultimate truth. The life you want is not hiding behind more options. It is hiding behind stronger commitments, behind clearer boundaries, behind the courage to say no to what doesn't matter, so that you can finally say yes to what does. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, take a moment to like this video. Share your thoughts in the comments and tell us what boundary you need to strengthen in your life right now. Subscribe for more powerful journeys into self-mastery, discipline, purpose, and personal transformation. And remember, the world will always offer you more distractions, but your future belongs to whatever you choose to protect. Choose wisely. Your destiny is waiting.